This is the worst mistake you're going to make in 2026 when running AI agents. If you don't know who I am, I'm Anwar. I run ABAI Solutions, where we automate manual workflow in our B2B businesses. I've got formal training from Oxford University's Artificial Intelligence program, and I'm an Anthropic partner. So I came across this proposal here today where they need 5 freelancers to produce a whole fleet of AI agents. And when I first saw this, I thought this was going to be absolutely horrendous. And the reason is the following. So what they're asking for, quite simply, is 10 different agents running 4 different frameworks to run their entirety of their business. So nothing would reach production until the last automation had landed. And to build 10 of these systems accurately and making sure that it actually gives you a return on your investment, you're realistically looking between 6 to 9 months before you even feel anything or have anything worthwhile within the business. So the bottom line is, I said to them, I wouldn't bother doing that. The outcome that they are expecting is 80 to 90% of all administration tasks and project management tasks covered within these AI agents. So they want their hours back, they want nothing falling through, and they want open systems and not 6 different tabs. So I guess it's completely reasonable for them to want this. However, it's the completely wrong way about going about it. So the reasons are the following. 10 different agents is 10 different failure points, which we'll go over shortly. They also wanted connection with DOB and BIS. These are government interfaces to submit forms, etc. They have no public API connections. If you don't know what an API connection is, it's a special password to go from one place to another in terms of systems. A model that picks its pricing is also probabilistic, so it could effectively make up whatever price it wanted realistically, even with the guardrails that it gives it. So again, there's another room for error there. So the 4 different frameworks that they mentioned as well, it's a dependency tree. So LangChain plus Crew AI plus AutoGen is a shopping list. It's not an actual framework to run any business on. An AI on an undefined process will get it wrong so fast. But back to the 10 agents is 10 different failure points. So this is the reliability math. So each agent is 95% reliable. If you chain 10 of those together, you only get 60% reliability. And why is that? So 95 to the power of 10 will equal 60. So 3 agents chained together, you're already dropping 14%. 10 agents together is a 40% drop in accuracy and reliability. And what would it cost to potentially run? You're looking at $1,400 at a minimum for a 10 agent workflow. This would actually be quite a lot more if they were running it on multiple different jobs, depending on how much they are using it. Versus if we automated the actual things which mattered, you'd probably get away with maybe $51. That's 2 LLM calls plus code. Code is deterministic, not probabilistic. So an agent fleet of 3 agents per job, that's 8 model calls each, 15K in tokens, 24 calls. You're looking at $1.50 per job. That is per action that you've gone into this agent to ask it to do. So if you go to the deterministic route and do the 2 LLM calls and just the code here, then you're only looking at 7 cents per job. This is a much higher return on investment because 1, it's accurate, 2, it's cheap as hell, and 3, you know exactly what you're going to be getting out of it. AI is going to be probabilistic. You don't know what it's going to come out with, even if the guardrails that you put in place are going to be fantastic. So looking at across a year, you're probably looking at a minimum of $1,600 in just LLM calls. And that is a huge cost to pay for something which is completely simple and easy to do. Now, the cost of AI agents are coming down, but that is for people vibe coding it and not having any consequence or repercussions with their agents. So if you actually want to build something which is going to be reliable, these are ballpark figures, but 10 different agents which are all running on the same system, which have the same security, which have the same guardrails and the same testing, you could probably look towards 800 hours for a quote unquote full build system. OAuth audit logging approvals, probably 150 hours. Admin dashboard, 110 hours. Testing, eval harnesses, deployment, documentation, another 90 hours. People think that this can just be vibe coded and then chucked out to the masses. Yes, you can, but it's not going to work. You will definitely have more problems than it is worth. So that is just the building, but what about maintaining it and debugging it? With that many systems and that many failure points, you're probably looking at 91 hours a month on just chasing agent failures, making sure that the eval sets are being hit for the quotes that they have been set. Whereas you could probably spend around 6 hours doing the stuff which is actually deterministic and will actually drive a return on investment for your business because it's a simple workflow. It has a lot less dependencies and a lot less failure points. So in this instance, what would actually work for this business? Gmail in every single inbound. We can then classify and extract with LLM to see what the message was. So if this is a speed to lead system, if it's a supplier sending an invoice, if it's a query, a request for a proposal, if it's a change order request, we can then use an LLM to plumb that into the rest of their CRM. Once you've then had the AI extract whatever information has come from those emails, you can then have an approval gate with a human in the loop step to double check that referencing. Then after you approve it, the AI can then go and connect to all your tools via an MCP server. MCP servers are essentially a menu of different connections that you can go to different tools. So a QuickBooks, for example, Calendar, Postgres, Drive, etc. All of those can be stored within the MCP, and the agent can go and use those as its hands to go and do whatever it needs to do. So within this system, there's two strategic LLM calls, the classifying and then running of the different tools. So that audit log only has two different AI steps which we have to monitor, rather than having a separate AI agent just for your Gmail inbox, just for your QuickBooks, just for your Drive. The same 10 jobs still get done, but it is just one framework rather than it being a whole bunch of different pipelines. So what I would recommend to this company, which I have pitched to them, is they do that email intake, proposal generation, QuickBook estimate. This is all deterministic stuff, which can drive a positive return on investment. If we can save you X amount of hours, you can use those hours, allocate those to revenue generating tasks, so we're not having back-end issues. Phase 2, I then build it up on the same spine. So different scheduling, inspection completions, payment reconciliations, etc. All of this data admin stuff, which can be done by artificial intelligence, but not at that stage. And then documents and findings. Then we can look to pre-fill these documentation, have those ready to then submit manually on these forms. So we're complying with legal regulations and terms of services. So that's me harping on about how AI agents are pretty useless. However, they do have their place. Now, if you are looking to implement anything within your business in terms of AI agents, automations, feel free to scan the QR code to block out some time with me. We can map out exactly where we can automate parts of the business, implement AI to actually drive a return on your investment, rather than just giving you 10 AI agents, which are going to do a whole load of basically nothing. So thanks for listening. Look forward to hearing from you. Cheers.